Another day, another live stream, another dollar to be made. Make sure you check us out at windailysports.com. We got a lot of new tools coming to the site soon. We got some prop tools that our man Ghost is in the lab working on, and I believe they're going to be popping off pretty soon at windailysports.com. They'll be able to predict home runs, strikeouts, all your props for MLB, and then, of course, we'll be bringing that into the NFL as well. So if you're into props, you're into prize picks, you're into betting at the sports book, this thing behind the curtain, I've been watching it. It's been really strong predicting Ks, home runs, and total bases, all that kind of good stuff you want to bet at the sports book. So make sure you check it out at windailysports.com. Now, Adam, we're going to be breaking down this Wednesday night slate. We're going to skip the early slate. If you want info on that, hop in our expert chat. We'll be discussing it all day, all night. But right now, this main slate, it's not like Tuesday when there's pretty much you could close your eyes and pick any pitcher and they dropped like 20. If you were lucky enough to get Corbin at 5K, he dropped close to 40. Guys like Woodruff off the DL pitched well. John Gray, everybody pitched well. There's like maybe like 3 or 4 pitches that were bad on Tuesday. But looking at Wednesday, man, I'll pass the torch to you, and I'll let you do the hard job of picking the ace of the slate. I don't know if you want to go to Alcantara or Wright or Ohtani, but you tell me what you see out there in the land of pitching.
No, I mean, I think Ohtani's pretty much the lock for me. We've been hammering the White Sox with righty pitching all season. They're 24th in WRC+, 28th in WOBA, 29th in ISO, 28th in OPS. I mean, they've been terrible against righty pitching. They don't strike out a ton. It's like right about 20%, but it doesn't necessarily matter to me with Ohtani. Swing strike rate of 14.3, K rate 33%. I mean, you know what this guy has every time he goes out onto the mound. 40, 60 K points, if you don't remember, remind you of what this guy has every time he steps onto the mound. I don't expect 46 again, but to me, he is the easiest pitcher to play, and I would be really surprised if he's not the most popular pitcher.
Yeah, he's going to be very popular. During that last start, I got a little crazy. I was betting striking balls and in play live plate appearances on DraftKings because he was just hammering the strike zone with strikes. I'm like, I'm just going to keep betting strike. I'm going to end up profitable by the end of the day. So that worked out well. Ohtani, 9,100. You know, this pricing algorithm for DraftKings does not want to price this guy up. Even on a slate where he should be priced up, they don't price him up here. So, look, Ohtani, definitely the ace, the safest landing spot at 9,100. Thoughts on Alcantara, man? This guy just pitches like 8 innings every single game, or 7 2/3 or 7. Does he get there against a tough Cardinals team? Throwing a righty at him is definitely a better way to go. Thoughts on Alcantara? Thoughts on Kyle Wright? And the Dodgers suck at baseball, so maybe you want to pitch Yerman Marquez at 5,500. Just kidding. But, like, where else you looking here at pitching?
I mean, Alcantara can always get there. I don't love him. 10K, you need some strikeouts. His K rate overall is only 23%. Cardinals just don't want to strike out. They're in the bottom or top 5 in K rate if you want to look at it from that perspective. The ground ball rate's great for him, but I don't find myself needing to spend up this much. Kyle Wright, if you look at the overall numbers, they look fantastic. If you chop off the first 6 weeks of the season and just go from the start of May, his ERA is about 4. The WOBA is close to 300. XFIP's about 360. Then the K rate's dipped under 24%. Like, that's not a bad pitcher, but that's not a $9,500 pitcher either on a lot of slates. He's probably in play for me more than Alcantara just because Philly's now down Bryce Harper. And, I mean, even with Harper, they've been average against righty pitching. So I could see him. But honestly, my next man up is probably going to be Manoah. I know he's got Boston. I get that can be a tough spot, but he's already dropped 30 DK points against this lineup once this season. Against righties, that's where we want to go with him. They only have a 199 WOBA, right under a 30% K rate. And Boston's typically 6 righties and only 3 lefties.
Yeah, I like the call on Ohtani Manoah. It's affordable, 9,100, 8,700 on DraftKings. Thoughts on your boy Hunter Green now? Look, Castillo went out there on Tuesday, pretty much lights out. Hunter Green, I would say, has similar upside as Castillo, but he also struggles a bunch in a lot of his starts. He had a tough start against the Dodgers, tough start against Milwaukee, but he's also shined against Arizona and St. Louis. 8,100, is there enough discount there to pivot off this 9K range to go down to 8,100, Hunter Green? Is there anybody underneath Hunter Green? It's slim pickings because there's multiple slates here prior to the 7 o'clock slate. There's some day games, afternoon games. It's dicey. But after Manoah, anybody else you like on this slate?
Not particularly, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, Green definitely has the most upside, but man, this could be a real ugly spot for him. The fly
Really?
ball rate, well, the fly ball rate's almost 55%. It's in Wrigley. We don't know what the wind's going to do. Now, if the wind's blowing in, maybe it's a little bit of a different story. Maybe I'm a bit more inclined to take the chance. But the problem is, for him, he's really only throwing his four seam and his slider. That's like 95% of his pitches. And when your four seam gives up a 479 WOBA and 15 home runs to this point, it can be a liability. When that's not working, when it's flat, when it doesn't have movement, the slider is not enough. And he's not throwing anything else. So people can just sit on that fastball and just hammer it. That's tended to be where his bad starts have come from. And the other thing is, he is a little bit worse to the right side of the plate, and the home run per 9 is 3.38. Granted, his xFIP is lower than you might think at only 4.12, but you're getting probably a righty-heavy lineup. You're getting potentially Wrigley Field weather, and you're getting a 55% fly ball rate and a bad fastball. And the Cubs are 7th against fastball this year. Like, he has upside, yes, but this also there's a lot of factors that just spell disaster for him in this spot.
Yeah, I feel you there. I think there's possibly a path of success for him or Urias here. I'm not a Urias guy. Last guy I'll mention, any thoughts on playing Justin Steele? If the weather is good, 6,500 gets you 15, 16, 17, maybe get to 20 somehow. Any love for Justin Steele here at 6,500? Looks like the lowest I'll go. He got hit up really bad against Cincinnati earlier this year, but he's been hanging in there. I know some of our guys in Discord are big Steele fans here. So any love down there for Steele at a big discount?
Probably not in this spot. Over the past 30 days, the Reds are 4th in WRC plus, OPS, WOBA. They're 7th in ISO, 3rd in on base, and they've only been striking out 17.3% of the time. I like Steele to an extent, but he's the guy that needs the best matchup possible to want to take a shot at. This is almost certainly not it. He would need the Wrigley Field wind blowing in game to a major extent for me to kind of take a look at him in this spot.
All right, so speak about the gas can of the slate. I think I got my favorite offense of the slate. I don't know if they're going against a gas can of the slate, but who are you looking to stack against here? Flip over the discussion. We talked about this not being a great slate for pitching, but which one of these pitchers do you want to target with your bats?
I mean, it's still the Dodgers. I understand they've let people down 2 slates in a row. That's just one more game closer to one of the best offenses in baseball going off. German Marquez has just been flat out bad this year. He's probably not as bad as he's pitching, but it's still a 3.36 WOBA or higher to each side of the plate. At home, 6.70 ERA. Yeah, the xFIP would tell you he's been kind of unlucky at home. I get that, but this is still the Dodgers. It's a 2.44 home run per 9. It's difficult to not want to go right back to LA because, like I said, every time they don't hit brings them one game closer. This is one of the best lineups in baseball, regardless of venue, regardless of pitcher. When you get a subpar pitcher and one of the best venue in the game, you kind of have to go back until they start hitting. And really, only 3 guys are above 5K. This isn't that expensive of a lineup right now.
Look, I tried my best to fade him. When Will Smith was out of the lineup, he's one of my favorite bats to play, on Tuesday. When you look at the lineup, Justin Turner struggling, Muncy struggling, Trace Thompson, he's not good. He's starting every day. They started Alberto, who hit a home run on Tuesday. But this lineup, it's not as scary as it once was with Mookie Betts up top. So we'll see what happens. The guy that I was looking to target in the offense that I think is one of the hottest in baseball right now. I know Acuna was out on Tuesday. I would love to have him back, but going against Suarez, who got hit up in the last start against Atlanta. Kind of like Atlanta here in Hitters Park in Philadelphia. Look, Atlanta, they got to Wheeler early and then they kind of slowed down, but they can still hit. These boys can hit. Suarez only lasted 4 innings the last time around about a month ago, so he sees them again. And yeah, he's got some, longer starts, but this is not a guy that I'm worried about going against Atlanta because Atlanta is so righty strong here. Like Swanson in a great spot. Darno has been hitting. He's in a great spot here. Olsen is heating up. I don't even mind Olsen here, but Riley and Ozuna would be probably Darno, Riley, Swanson, Ozuna, probably the first 4 in for me. Thoughts on potentially getting a Brave stack and then finishing off with one of their cheaper bats that kind of spread out the love. But if Acuna starts, he'll definitely be back in my roster if I'm going to go stack up the Braves.
Yeah, this was the second lineup in
Okay.
my stacks. Ranger Suarez just isn't that good. 4.45 xFIP to the right side of the plate. You have Contreras, Swanson, Riley, Acuna, and Torno all over 400 WOBA against lefties this year, all over 255 ISO. I mean, the Braves lineup, even without Ozzie Albies, is just set to destroy lefty pitching. And with Ranger Suarez not really the best guy around, they are more than in play for me, 100%.
Yeah, I like them in that spot a bunch here. Outside of them, got to look at weather in Cincinnati and Chicago. If the wind's blowing out, that's definitely in play. Dodgers against, Marquez in play. Sneaky stacks, though. Is there anything you got that won't be too popular? Is it maybe Minnesota going against Quantrill, maybe running it back Cleveland, going against Bundy, or attacking one of these top pitchers or these top price pitchers because these aren't all aces here up top. Anybody else that you potentially like to stack here?
It's the Cleveland lefties. Bundy's only got a 13.8% K rate to the left side of the plate. We know, from all season, Cleveland just does not want to strike out against anybody. Jose Ramirez, Josh Naylor, Jimenez. I mean, even Steven Kwan, if he's up top again, he's not going to get you power, but if he gets on base, that's really all that's going to matter. He can swipe a bag here and there. You're mostly looking for base hits, runs, and getting on in front of these guys. But Ramirez and Naylor are probably my top 2. I think even if you're not going to spend up on Freddie Freeman at first, Naylor to me would probably be my next man in at that position. And only 3,500 really helps out the cause.
Yeah, look, I just built a little stack to kind of mess around with.
And real quick, Ramirez is 5,100. He shouldn't be that price ever. I don't care how he's hitting. I don't care who he's up against. I don't care. 5,100 for Jose Ramirez should not happen.
He hasn't hit a home run in 10 games. That's probably why his price dipped a little bit, but still 304 in the season, 16 home runs, 63 RBIs, 10 for his last 39. Yeah, you're right. He shouldn't be this cheap, 5,100. But just to mess around, I built an Ohtani Manoah stack, and it actually works perfectly. If Acuna is out of that lineup, you can go 5-3 Atlanta, Cleveland as a potential landing spot here. So I like that call there. Some one-offs that we can kind of get into. Look, I really don't want to pick on Alcantara at all. So St. Louis is out. Philly, you can one-off Schwarber if you like. Pretty much anybody in Toronto, you can one-off against Pivetta here. The lineup has been heating up. Colorado after Urias, if there's some cheap guys in the lineup against Urias, I don't mind that play. The Cubs are in Cincinnati. That's weather dependent. If the wind is blowing out, it can change a lot of things in that game. I don't really want to target Kopech here, but that'd be the one place you might want to try to get a little bit sneaky. Ohtani and Trout and that lineup could get hot at any time here. So I know they both homered on Tuesday. Any love for the Angels here as one-offs or potentially stacking against Kopech? We haven't talked about Kopech. I just want to get your thoughts on this game.
Oh, it's harder to stack because you can't play Ohtani as a hitter. So it really takes out a big bat out of that stack. As far as Kopech goes, I think he might be chalky, and I'm not real thrilled to do that. I mean, just look at these last 5 starts. Okay, he has the one injury, he leaves early. There's still 3 other starts that are under 10 DK. There's one that was a 30 spot. Okay, great. But he's been one of the luckier pitchers this year. A 474 xFIP compared to a 259 ERA. Never what I'm chasing. The K rate's fine, but it's not dominant. The fly ball rate's almost 52%. and his home run to fly ball rate is only 4.8%. Like, that is not going to stick through all this season. When you're giving up fly balls at 52% of the time, 4.8% is just not close to sustainable. And even like the BABIP against righties is 149. Again, you can't do this.
Yeah, I hear you on that. So maybe a one-off of Trout. You can't play Ohtani because he's obviously pitching here. But, that's pretty much it for us. We're going to be laying out our cores every day. Adam posts his cores in our expert chat. I throw some props in there. A lot of discussion around the MLB. If you missed our Prize Picks YouTube show, make sure you check that out. Jared is doing a great job every single day. And also, we have a golf show that aired earlier on Tuesday night covering the tournament on Thursday. So if you're looking for golf access, go to our YouTube channel. You're looking for Prize Pick plays every single day, go to our YouTube channel as well. You're watching it there now. Like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss all these shows. We got prop models that are going to be launched on WinDailySports.com this week. So make sure you go check those out. Hop in our expert chat as well. And like Adam knows, man, football season is right around the corner. So you're going to want to lock in with us, get into the community, start chatting with us, learn the process that we're working with. And we want to turn your love of sports into a profit center. Big shout out to Big T, man. He took down $1,100 gambling and betting on people who play video games, League of Legends. So anytime you can turn a profit betting and playing DFS on esports, that's a big thing. So make sure you check out him talking about it all night long, man. These contests go early in the morning, late at night, whatever you want to call it. So lock in with him in our expert chat. If you're into League of Legends and DFS and Prize Picks and all that kind of stuff, we got you covered here. So we're out of here on a Wednesday. Everybody, good luck, and we'll see you back for the Thursday night slate.